Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel, and this is Al, my spirit guide. Welcome to episode 12 of season 7. Got my fingers all muddled up. I was about to go to sleep, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's put on a show. Mainly because I'm curious what the energy for this new moon in can't even say it, Saggitarius is. Okay, shall we pull some cards? Let's keep it on topic, Magic Mel. My last few episodes have been, full of reflections. Vamos allá. Straight to the point. Straight to the heart. I want to ask 3 questions. The first one is connecting with your Aska team, of course. Connecting with my Aska team. Have you seen this hat? If you haven't, then you haven't watched my earlier videos. This is my usual outfit here. Okay, connecting with Archangel Haniel and the rest of our Asgard team with Triple G. What is the main energy that is coming in with this new moon? Thank you so much. It's crazy how time flies. I could swear we just did the full moon reading, but of course it's like 2 weeks ago. So what is the main energy? As you can see, I'm inviting my shadow to the show too. Oh, there, mirror reversed. What's the main energy? I've been looking around a bit at other YouTube channels, and it seems very positive, a very expansive energy, where we're asked to literally drop one more time our limiting beliefs and completely step into the field of infinite possibilities. That can be scary though, because whether they're useful or not, our limiting beliefs are anchors in a weird way. So letting go of these old dysfunctional anchors can be a bit disconcerting. Again, that's where trust comes in. No? The more we trust in the benevolence and in the support of the universe and this whole expansion ascension process, then we can relax and ease into it more. But if we don't trust, then it's difficult. Okay, guys, card came out. Okay, main energy. You see this? I'm gonna keep it here because of the lighting. Okay, I'll come up close. Yeah, there, better. Main energy is the 4 of Pentacles. And it's interesting because I just said, we're asked to drop our limiting beliefs and I guess welcome the expansion. But the 4 of Pentacles is more of a conservative energy. Although I like to interpret it as conservative in terms of knowing our worth, knowing how to manage our energy. And if there's anything we've learned so far, hasn't it been like how to manage our energies, to come to realize how powerful we are, how we affect not only our energy field, but impact the collective energy field with our own thoughts and our own emotions. I mean, the ripple effect is massive. So coming to grips, learning and harnessing our own energies is what it's all about. And I know there's a Pentacles. So Pentacles is the earthly energy, everything to do with our earthly and earthbound abundance, money, career. That has to do with self-worth too, though, because everything is connected. So as soon as we claim our worthiness, which is actually always there. I'm going to put this down because my arm hurts. I'm going to keep it here. It's not like we have to develop our worthiness. It's because our worthiness it's a fact. Whether we claim it or not, that is the question. So this conservative energy, I read it in terms of worthiness, in terms of knowing what we have, knowing what we're worth, and literally with our 2 feet on the ground. It's a reminder for me to know how to budget, to know how to value each pentacle. So again, money is an extension of our energy, just the way the 3D works at the moment. That might change as gifting economies and sacred economies is on the rise. The currency might change. Hopefully the currency that we will use eventually are just our pure gifts, our talents. But in the meantime, we use the pentacle as exchange symbol. as exchange currency. So in each pentacle, though, each pentacle is a representation of a part of our energy. Because if you think about it, we exchange or we trade these pentacles for our services, for our talents, for our time, for our energy. So it's as if each pentacle is a piece of our time and energy. That can actually be scary because if you think about, okay, whatever job you have, is it worth your time and energy? Of course, money is always useful, but your time and your energy is the primary currency. So what are you exchanging it for? Is it worth the money? This is just a question I'm putting out there. We're asked or invited to really basically go down to that question. What am I exchanging? What am I valuing with my money? What am I saying yes to with my money? Because we can use that currency to say yes, i.e., to choose something that we believe in, to invest into something that we feel is worth our time and energy and our pentacles. Going back to our values, if we're clear about our intrinsic values, our core values, and our priorities, then it will be easier to invest in one thing over another, to spend money on one thing or another, because we're sure about our priorities. We're sure what it's worth. So why not? Why not learn how to balance our internal energy and our earthbound, earthly pentacles? Like this, like literally, it's a bit of a balancing act. Know what he's doing here. Let me know if this resonates. That's a general energy. It's a good one. Inner and outer currency. Then I wanted to ask, what is the challenge that we're facing with this new moon in Sagittarius? And challenge, it doesn't need to have a negative connotation. Challenges are there to help us grow, to test our abilities, to test our boundaries, and to put our new insight, our new knowledge, our new capacities to the table, or to apply them. Gosh, guys, my tongue is a bit tied. This is new moon energy. I'm like, words are not coming out. Bear with me. So what is the challenge coming up with the new moon in Sagittarius? Thank you, dear Asker team. Thank you, Haniel. It's fast. Guess who's in the show? Have you watched my previous episode where I spoke about none but the beautiful devil energy? This is quite interesting because we have my shadow. Oops, it's all in reverse. My shadow, the light, and the devil. all of us in the show here. What was my question? My question was, what is the challenge that the new moon is bringing up? The challenge is to face our shadows. Pure, straight up. It's interesting because I pulled a card for myself earlier. It was the same. It was shadow. Then I looked on something on YouTube. Animus and Anima came out. I'm like, oh my god. Do you remember that stone also? Here's a stone. The stone I collected on my walk earlier. Light and dark, yin yang, good and evil, feminine and masculine, all of these polarities that in the end we need to integrate because we are not just one or the other. That's the theme of the month, it seems, especially with this new moon. So, the devil. Have you integrated your devil? Have you dealt with your shadow aspects? Have you looked at them? Are you... what's the right word? I said it takes courage to face our shadow parts because they bring up a lot of discomfort. So often we prefer or choose to reject and relay the devil, the shadow aspects back to the shadow instead of dealing with them head on. I'm saying it's uncomfortable because sometimes, for example, in my own experience, I totally rejected my power. I preferred to play the damsel in distress, which was essentially distorted feminine energy. Like, somebody rescue me. And I'm saying this with compassion because I didn't know better at that point. But it was a manipulative energy, although I was not aware of it. So at the point where I faced my shadow, and as we know, the shadow is not just destructive, the shadow can be empowering. But when I faced my shadow, looked into my shadow and realized that in my shadow was my own power that I was invited to seize and to claim and to integrate and embody, I freaked out. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. It felt safer to be disempowered. That's why I also tell you that let's unshame and extend some grace to this conflict, inner conflict, when it comes to integration, because it's not always a smooth clicking in of parts, or where everything just slides in perfectly. There's a lot of rubbing against each other and conflict before we find the right integration process, the right way of accepting and building in this shadow aspect. However, the time is such that the universe doesn't allow us anymore to carpet sweep, to deny our shadow. That's why this card also came out as a reply to my question, what is the challenge, and i.e. opportunity with this new moon? The opportunity is to have a conversation with our so-called devil, our shadow aspect. What is he wanting to say? Why is the devil whispering temptations into our ear? What are his intentions? That is important to know, because if we understand the devil, then we might even have compassion for that aspect of ourselves. For example, I ended up having compassion for the part of me that rejected my power back into the shadow because I was simply scared. Once we understand the underlying intention or the motivation, then we were more able to extend some compassion or some understanding. So what does your devil have to say? In what ways is he trying to tempt you to stay stuck, or the same, to stay small and to stay in the shadow? Often we're simply afraid to step into the light. It's somehow more comfortable to just sit back in the shadow and merge with the shadow, where nobody can call you out, where you don't have to stand for something, where you don't risk being vulnerable in the limelight. However, or, the devil can even say, stay small, because who are you to be in the limelight? That's actually how I had to deal with my own devil, because a lot of times, and you might not believe that because now I'm in the limelight, but a lot of times I played small. Instead of taking a step forward onto the stage, I regressed. I stepped back and I said, no, it can't be me. I don't believe in what I have to say. Who am I, basically? But that was the devil's voice. So it's very important to discern who is speaking. It's important for us to create some distance between these voices that come into our psyche, that speak to us. It's important to discern what kind of voice that is. Is it a family member? Is it some authoritarian figure that I have, oh gosh, guys, I can't speak, that I have adopted, but it's not really coming from my higher self? And the devil tends to seduce us by whispering to us to stay. He whispers sweet nothings to comfort us, to assuage us, it talks to our ego, basically. So be aware, shed some light onto your shadow. Invite your shadow onto stage, onto the limelight. Have a conversation with your shadow. Don't be aggressive. It's not about warring and being in conflict with our shadow aspects. It's more about relating, consciously relating to these aspects and trying to figure out what they have to say. I mean, be like a detective. Have some curiosity with your shadow aspects. And then once you understand, once you've discerned, okay, this is definitely not my higher self speaking. This is the devil seducing my ego to stay the same or to go back to my old vices, my old patterns, my own limiting beliefs. Then you have a choice point. But if we don't even create that distance, we are too identified with the voice, and then we're at the mercy of the voice, of the devil, of the shadow aspect. And again, the shadow can only operate, trip us up, if we do not shed some consciousness, the light of our awareness, onto it. As soon as it's like, you light a candle or you light a light in the dark room, poof, the darkness disappears. So perhaps your devil has something interesting to say. Your shadow aspect has something interesting to say. It's up to you then to choose how to act and how to respond to that aspect of yourself. But the important thing is to relate to it, to create a communication stream, a dialogue, and a relationship. Because even the devil can be your ally in the sense of the daemon giving you power, creative power, or passion, or revitalize you, or make you connect to that perhaps lost instinctual voice that you've been rejecting for the sake of your rational and socialized self, ego self. Okay, so seize this opportunity, invite your devil for some tea, give him some biscuit, say, let's have a talk. Come out of the shadows. I want to talk with you one-on-one, tete-a-tete. Okay? Let me know how that goes. Devil, we're not scared of you anymore. Now, what was my... Actually, I think I fused two questions in one here, because my next question was going to be, what is the opportunity of this month? But I guess I read the challenge as an opportunity. So let's reframe the next question. Okay, how about this question? What energy are we invited to embody? How about that? I had to think of it a second there, because the devil tripped me up. So what question are we invited to embody? I love that question because it's gentle. We're invited to embody. We don't have to. We have a certain degree of free will. Although usually when we use our free will against the nudgings of our intuition higher self, we suffer. So I don't know how much free will we really have without causing pain and suffering. Because at the end of the day, our conscience or our guidance systems will tell us if something is off. Okay, what energy, dear Asga team, dear Haniel, what energy are we asked to embody? Just some heavy duty. It started all off like, conservative, grounded. Then came the devil, and boom, third card. What was my question? My question was, what energy are we invited to embody? Wow, we're invited to embody the tower. And the tower is everything about paradigm shift. The universe coming and saying, I think you've been deceiving yourself for too long, and you can no longer operate in the same manner without harming yourself and without blocking your own expansion. So I have to come in and throw a lightning bolt like Zeus, Greek god, and derrumbar your tower, which has been constructed on a faulty foundation. So guys, tower is epic and major shift. It's like an earthquake coming in. But to shake things up in a good way, it's when we've become a little bit too complacent or a little bit too laid back. I know, it's nice. We go through these ascension spurts and find our footing again. And just when we thought, wow, okay, this is easy, steady, the universe comes in, no. Next step forward, boom. So the universe means well. So let's not fear, just like we're encouraged not to fear the devil, but to relate to it. Let's go and embrace and open ourselves to the very much needed paradigm shift that the tower will bring, because the tower only falls when there is a faulty foundation. If everything has been built on solid ground, there's no need for the tower to come crumbling down. So everything has its meaning. Everything the changes that the universe enforces on us are for our highest benefit. Maybe not in the moment, but looking back, we realize, oh wow, if it weren't for that massive unexpected change, I would not have changed my ways. I would have not let go of my limiting beliefs. I would have not changed my mindset, my approach, and I would not be here where I'm right now. Okay, things always make sense looking back, not necessarily going forward. That's why it's important for us to have a vision, to have faith, and to be optimistic, and to trust that in the bigger picture, everything is working for us. The universe, the anima mundi. Remember the last episode where I spoke about anima mundi? The world soul is working in conjunction with our soul to make us whole again, to integrate our light and shadow aspects, to welcome the shadow on the stage. Shadow, yes, and the devil. So integrate and realize that we are more than this duality, that we are the paradox that transcends the duality. That is the self. So there's some powerful energy coming up. That's why probably we're asked to hold on tight. Hold on tight, because we've got some crazy devil and tower energy coming up. Stay grounded. Seeing this energy, the Four of Pentacles now in relation with the devil and the tower, I feel it's a bit of a notifier from the universe to, hey, fasten your seatbelts, stay grounded, apply all of your grounding techniques, all of the tools out of your spiritual toolkits to connect with yourself, to connect with Mother Earth, to be right here, right now, to soothe yourself, and then to fasten your seatbelt, because we have some spicy some spicy energy for the second half of the new moon. So that is the main reading. And I wanted to pull a quick, gosh, it's already 21 minutes. I'm trying to keep these videos below 30 minutes so it's all digestible. Let's see what the Monology deck has to say, since it's a new moon energy coming in. Thank you so much, dear Aska team. Gracias. Thank you for guiding us. It's already June, guys. How crazy is that? Then again, I remember at the beginning of the year, the forecast was all about massive shifts. I mean, there's always massive shifts, but especially massive this year. And we were asked to really be bold and to drop everything that is not our true self, to really claim our worthiness, to really live out our passions, because this is the time, this is the year to go for that. And hopefully next year is more of a grounding energy. But this year is like dealing with these two guys. These two energies. Okay, Haniel, thank you so much. I'm focusing. One more. Okay. So what is your extra advice for us here? Thank you so much. What do you need to release? So this goes very much in tandem with beautiful devil and beautiful tower. It's actually when we don't release what no longer serves us that the tower comes crashing in, because we're no longer allowed to carry extra baggage, extra emotional baggage, the trauma that hasn't been processed. We have to deal with things. We have to face the devil. We have to ask ourselves, what is not serving me anymore? What beliefs do I still carry, or which came cycling back, because it takes sometimes a few rounds of releasing things. What do I need to release to allow this? Oh, sorry, it's my cat. My cat also came. To allow just to be my true self. It's not even, this expansion is actually all about just being ourselves. And that sounds so simplistic, but it's not. It's a complicated process, but actually at the essence of it, that's what it is, to be ourselves. So what do you need to release in order to liberate yourself, in order to really claim your purpose, your soul's purpose, and your passion? And for passion, we know that the devil can serve us, that your daemon can serve us, can serve you. Just like I told you, me not claiming my power and relaying it to the shadow didn't serve me. So releasing my fear of actually claiming my power and standing in my power is something I had to release. Yeah. So releasing and claiming goes hand in hand. That's how this process of light and dark, yin and yang, is a process of allowing, releasing, and integrating. Yeah. So Haniel is warning us, or nudging us. Warning sounds a bit intimidating. What do you need to release? Encore. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Apologies for my twisted tongue. And yeah, I guess it's the moon energy. And it's also a little bit late here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Super appreciate you guys being here. You know that if you like my channel, please, and my messages, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everyone sharing and subscribing. And know that I am a tarot reader. If you're interested in tarot readings, if you're interested in coaching, the details are in the description box below. And I'm looking forward to episode 13 coming up sooner than you think. Ciao, guys.